tracking live updates from the Manipal Hospital. In fact, if you have just joined us, veteran writer Ananthamurthy is no more. After repeated attempts of resuscitation, he did not make it. You can see that the body is now being brought out. He will be cremated tomorrow is what we understand. Of course, he is a veteran writer who will be sorely missed, and his body is now being wheeled out of the hospital. An ambulance will then take his body to his residence is what we understand. And of course, the doctors are present. There are huge security officials trying to ensure that no one gets to Ananthamurthy's body. It will be, of course, taken to his residence where his family will be able to go ahead and spend some time with his body before they go ahead and bid farewell. Quite a bit of chaos being witnessed at the Manipal Hospital, even as everyone tries to get a last glimpse of the veteran writer, a man who's contributed so much to the city, to the state, to the country, and even to the world. But of course, he did not manage to win the battle against a number of ailments. And there you have it, Ananthamurthy's body being taken away in that ambulance. Of course, it will be taken straight to his residence now, is what we understand. A tragic passing of a legend there. You can see that after his death, which took place at 6:26 p.m., 2 hours on, they are now taking the body away. His family members also present there. You can see they are getting into the ambulance. Remember, he is succeeded by his wife as well as his children. And of course, the doctors also present alongside him. The doctor who went on to confirm this particular news, Dr. Sudarshan Balal, did state that Ananthamurthy was suffering from a number of ailments, from a number of health ailments, and they tried their best efforts to go ahead and resuscitate him. Unfortunately, it all failed. Of course, the family will be at a loss for words at this point. We spoke to so many veterans in the field. All of them went on to mourn the death of Ananthamurthy. All of them saying that a generation has passed away with this particular news, that a generation has come to an end. And as you can see, Ananthamurthy's body being taken out of Manipal Hospital. This is no doubt the loss of a legend. You can see huge crowds have gathered right outside Manipal Hospital as soon as the news was given out that the veteran writer was no more. The Jnanpith Awardee had passed away, and of course we understand that a large number of his fans to bid adieu to the man they loved so much, to the man they had adhered for so many years. They wanted to come and say one final goodbye, catch one last glimpse of him, and that's why huge crowds gathered there at the Manipal Hospital. Ananthamurthy's body will now be taken straight to his residence. Remember, tomorrow is a holiday. He will be cremated with full state honours. This is an announcement made by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah as well. This is a loss, no doubt, for the state, but the world will miss this man, a man who believed in the festival of democracy, who never shied away from going ahead and speaking his mind, never minced his words, and beyond all of that, a writer par excellence who will be remembered for his work and who will in fact live on with his literature. It is said that he passed away at 6:26 p.m. after repeated efforts to resuscitate the veteran writer. Unfortunately, he lost the battle to the number of ailments he was suffering from for the last many months. He has been undergoing dialysis for renal problems, besides which he had a heart as well as a lung ailment. It was a heart attack that in fact took his life away. But of course, even though Ananthamurthy may not be with us anymore, there's no doubt that his work will live on. His words will be remembered, no matter how controversial, no matter what he said. All of it will stick on for generations to come. He has inspired so many, and he will continue to do so. To remember the veteran writer, of course, tomorrow is a day of mourning. We understand that it won't just be the family, but every person in the city, in the state, and even in the country who will mourn his loss, who will remember this man for what he was, someone who never went ahead and hid his personality, who would do anything to go ahead and speak his mind. He believed in the festival of democracy. And of course, that is the ambulance that is transporting Ananthamurthy's body. In all likelihood, they are taking his body to his residence, so the family will have the chance to go ahead and bid a final goodbye, to go ahead and say their most loved person a hearty farewell. In fact, you can see that a huge number of people besides the media personnel present right outside Manipal Hospital. It is understood that a lot of people gathered there upon hearing the news of Ananthamurthy's death. Of course, it was anticipated that they would wheel out his body soon, and everyone hoping that they can get one last glimpse of Ananthamurthy. There you have it, of course, the veteran writer while he was being wheeled off. Of course, very tragic that this man who has gone ahead and contributed so much to the country, to the world, has passed away. In fact, everyone has been mourning his death. It is understood that he had suffered a heart attack, and despite repeated attempts by the doctors, a team of 8 to 10 doctors tried hard to resuscitate him, but to no avail. It is understood that for the last many hours he was in a very, very critical condition. For the last many days he was even on ventilator support. He had a number of heart and lung ailments, and besides that, of course, he also had that kidney problem for quite some time. Tomorrow, of course, is a day of mourning this legend and this man who contributed so much to the country. In fact, the Chief Minister has stated that 3 days of mourning will be observed, besides which, of course, Ananthamurthy will be cremated with full state honours as expected. Tomorrow will remain a holiday for all in order to remember Ananthamurthy, in order to remember his contribution, and to ensure that, of course, he will continue to inspire, and a message to the man, if he is, of course, listening from wherever he is now, that he will be remembered, and we thank him for all that he's done for the world. Well, in fact, he has been battling quite a few ailments, so even when we spoke to so many writers, all of them stated that despite the fact that he had so many problems, he was still such a lively, cheerful man, someone who had an absolute spirit about himself, whose energy was infectious, and that's what he will be remembered for. Despite all the controversies he has quoted, no one can deny the fact that this man has voiced his opinion come what may. Even if there was a brick wall against him, he would break through it and go ahead and state exactly what he felt. That is the kind of man that Ananthamurthy was. Whether people liked him or not, there's no doubt that this particular news comes as a big loss to the world. Well, this man's contributions are unlimited, of course. We had to talk about all that he's done for the country, for the world. There's no doubt that as a contemporary writer and as a critic in Kannada literature, his contribution is like no other. He is, of course, someone who is very, very well known. Even when he was not writing his work, he was known for the fact that he was active, very active when it came to the social spheres, when it came to even news. He ensured that he knew what was taking place and always never hesitated to voice his opinion. Of course, 82-year-old Ananthamurthy was in a critical condition. It was expected that this would happen, and yet so many writers out there will seem shedding a tear for this man. Well, we're now joined on the phone lines by Ms. Arundhati Nag, a theatre artist, a renowned theatre artist, in fact. Ms. Arundhati Nag, no words can go ahead and explain what kind of a loss this is to the country and to the world as such.
What can I say? This is such a big loss. It's a big loss to the nation, to the world. Whenever we lose a thinker like him, a person who had the capacity to question, strong in his beliefs, it's such a big loss. In a time when there's so much chaos in the name of religion, in the name of politics, there are few voices, few people who have the courage to take a stand. And for, I think, generations, Ananthamurthy was like a beacon. So this is a big loss. Of course, we want all our great people to live forever, and that is never possible. So it just makes us feel so small that destiny has a part, and we lose them. So I think we have to respect the man for what he was, and it's a big responsibility for the generations after him to emulate him, a big responsibility for young India to stand up and be like him, and at least follow the words of wisdom that have been left behind. For Rangashankara, he has been like such a light right from the moment it was an idea and I had shared it with him, and then when I was fundraising, and for the last 10 years he has come and attended as many plays as possible. So he was one of our most erudite audiences also.
Ms. Nag, absolutely, there's no doubt. If we start talking about his contributions, this conversation could go on forever. That's the kind of man he was. But he was also known for those controversies. But many feel, we've spoken to so many writers, all of them feel that his controversies are also what made him what he is. He truly believed in the festival of democracy.
Sorry, I can't hear you too well, but I got a couple of your key words. Yes, of course. I mean, controversy or any kind of an argument means that the democracy is alive.